Hey, Lydia, look over there. Isn't that a pretty town?
She'll live.
What's up?
Push her.
No. Go over towards the ledge and like see if she'll follow you. Like over there. Yeah.
Look over there, Lydia.
Come on, Liddy. Come on. Fucking
Let's
maybe
let it
she'll
be
figure-
known.
of heights.
Tell her to follow you.
I officially object to this idea, but
I'm
the
second
only.
that objection.
I think I'm the voice of dissension here.
Okay, just shout her off that side.
Oh,
You
no. I'm going to
almost
shut
fell
myself
your
off.
ass out.
Come on, Lydia.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
You
Come on,
people have
Lydia.
talked over and over again about killing this
Lydia.
bitch.
Yeah,
and you're
but
going
I
to
wanna get
object to
stuff
it?
first.
Okay.
She's not dead. She's okay.
What the hell?
Hey, what are you doing down there, Lydia?
Oh, sorry, baby. Did we
Oh,
scare
my
you?
gosh. That was funny.
Oh, I retract my objection. That was the funniest freaking thing I've ever seen.
A toast to shouting Lydia's ass off a bridge.
We apologize to anybody whose eardrums have just
Oh, yeah.
bursted.
Oh, it's still
Yes.
raving up
But,
there. Look
what
at
the
that shit.
hell? Can you go?
Walk
That's
through the brick wall.
crazy.
Wow.
That is the biggest glitch I've seen. in this
Huh.
game.
Oh my god, I've seen some horrible glitches with this
We
game.
just scared
Not
the
while
hell out
played.
of my little dog, who
you-
immediately ran up and tried to jump up on my lap.
Have you seen the horse in the beginning that
Look,
swings?
this is not rendering. Look at
What the
this.
hell?
Weird.
What is it, Bubba? What is it? Do you want to
Well.
say hi? Say hi. Can you talk in the microphone?
Oh well.
Can you talk? Can you talk? Say bark.
He doesn't bark much.
I am amazed that he
F-fuel
is still
textures.
black.
You racist.
No, our dog has had several puppies, and most of them have, once we cut their hair, are white. Like, completely white. Our dog was, like, gray and black, and he is just white. We should have named him Michael Jackson. He started out black, turned white.
So this might
is so
seem.
wrong.
He
This
doesn't
might
have much of a nose either.
This might seem like just a huge leap.
I can only hear
Completely,
the children
completely
talking.
non sequitur. But stay with me.
Okay.
I had a professor in college who there were some Mormon missionaries that came by his house, and wanted to talk to him, as they are wont to do.
Yes.
And
That is their job as Mormon
is
missionaries.
he was the kind of guy who just sought knowledge.
To interject, why is it that every time I hear the word missionary, it doesn't matter in what context, I always think of the missionary position?
Because you're a pervert.
Yeah. Okay, continue.
But anyway, so he actually invited them in and sat down and wanted to hear what they say. And he was telling us about this in class. And he's like, they have some strange beliefs.
It depends
Now-
on the type of Mormonism.
Yeah, and I don't know which group of Mormons these were, but some of the things that he mentioned that they said was that the first people came to America in a submarine. Mm-hmm. Satan is Jesus' brother, and he lives on the moon. Mm-hmm. And the thing that made me think of this is that black people, when they die, if they go to heaven, they turn white.
Okay.
And so
That sounds like a very interesting
yeah.
sect.
Yeah,
I had
I
a
don't
friend
think
whose parents left the church. They stopped being Latter-day Saints because they.
apparently he still has something you need.
It might not be the Latter-day Saints portion of the Mormonism, but they left because some of the things like her baptism, they were not allowed to attend. The only people that were allowed to attend were the men in her church, the elder men in her church.
That sounds like a very off-putting, because
And-
that's not the way, at least the Mormon churches that my brother
Yeah, well, there's
has attended,
different.
that's not the way that
Yeah,
they
there's
how
always
they work.
weird sects of every religion.
We were able to watch my brother. We're not even Mormon, and we were able to attend my brother's baptism.
They told her that her parents that if she were a good Mormon girl and married a good Mormon husband, when her husband died, they would live on another planet, which was what heaven is basically other planets, and have spiritual babies for the rest of eternity. That would be what she would do. As a good Mormon wife, would be have spiritual babies in the afterlife.
Well, To each his own, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all have our beliefs. I mean,
There are some weird Christian beliefs out there too, and
There
I'm
are-
a Christian. Oh my gosh.
My sorry, my high school English teacher was a Latter-day Saint. But one of her favorite lines in the history of cinema was from Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, when when Kirk tells somebody to just ignore Spock, he did too much LDS.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think the Latter-day Saints actually refers to the ones that are a little bit closer to, the Christian sort of beliefs.
see, I don't know what
know.
the difference is between that and, I mean, as far as I knew, all Mormons were LDS, but I could
Yeah,
be wrong. If I'm wrong, if you're a Mormon and you're watching this and I'm wrong about that, please feel
Yeah,
free
comment.
to comment.
We don't
and
want to be
correct me.
ignorant about this. We'd
Because-
rather somebody correct us and tell us the
know.
truth.
And what I've heard coming from my brother and my sister-in-law, actually, what I've heard about the religion, it's actually a very interesting religion. Or, well, I mean, the denomination, I guess I should say, because it's still Christian religion. So, but it's really interesting to hear about some of it, and I'd really like to learn more, just to learn more about their beliefs. I mean, I don't necessarily share all of their beliefs, but some of them are really quite interesting.
Yeah, there's I've interacted with at the mental hospital that I worked at. I interacted with people that were part of one guy in particular was part of a cult, raised in a cult, and
Yeah, there are lots of those.
it's every religion has its extremists, which is why I get so irritated with people who get down on Islam,
Yeah.
and Muslims,
Right.
because
I'm gonna die.
because
You
there's
are so
extremists in
gonna die,
every group. There are people who are Jewish who consider themselves Jewish. They're of Jewish faith and Jewish, of Jewish heritage, which, there's a difference
Yes.
between the two,
I'm
Yes,
going
there
to
is.
die.
and,
You can be a Jew without being Jewish.
and there are what they call Messianic Jews who believe in Christ,
Yep, those
and
they
are,
also, I like what they call their church. They call themselves Jews for Jesus.
yeah, and,
I think that's pretty
you
cool.
know,
crap.
you're going to die. You died.
Oh.
Puff,
The
puff,
word
pass.
dumbass mean anything? Oh, it's my turn.
Finally.
Yes.
Finally.
Yay.
So, but yeah, I mean, there's different parts of every. Does the bear have a person's face in the middle of its chest, or not the chest, but the stomach?
It does kind of
I
look
see
that way.
that.
does
Look
it
at
not?
that.
Interesting.
But yeah, I mean, it's like everybody thinks they know things about every religion. I've had people say, "Well, you as a Christian believe this." I'm like, "No,
Your death fixed the render.
that's what somebody else as a Christian believes."
It did.
You know.
I know what you're doing. You're fixing things.
And
No,
I'm
she screwed it
just
up.
gonna make this statement, as
No, it's under settings.
as
Gameplay.
Yeah.
as
Bye-bye.
controversial as this is, I think that gay people should be able to get married.
Uh-oh.
So
Hold
just
the
putting that
internets.
out there.
All the internets.
I'm a
yeah.
Christian, and I think it's okay for gay people to get married.
Yeah, I mean, to me,
Pardon me.
Actual marriage is more of a civil thing than it is a religious.
Yeah, I mean,
thing,
in our
but-
culture, marriage is a civil act. If you want to make it a religious thing, then then if your church doesn't allow for that and you don't believe in that and your church wants to make that stance, they can't get married in your church.
Yeah.
But it's a civil right. It's not
that
a
being said-
religious right.
That being said, if I do not think it's right, however, for gay couples to sue churches. I've heard of gay couples suing churches that will not marry them.
Yeah.
And to me, that's
That's a religious belief,
yeah.
and
Am I really going the way that you just
Yes.
went? I'm so stupid.
it's not discrimination. With that, I mean, you don't have to get married in that church.
Right. I
You
agree
know,
with that. I think,
If you don't believe what that church believes, then you don't need to go to that church.
exactly.
It's a religious thing at that point. But the whole being able to be married and being able to have a family and that sort of thing, I think they should have the same civil rights as us. And if you have issue with having to explain to your children about why men can marry men and women can marry women, then you really have an issue with communicating with your kids, because it's part of our culture already. and just explain to them, that's not what we believe is right and wrong. People always say, well, how am I going to explain that to my kids? That men can marry men and women can marry women, and I don't believe in that. Well, that's your responsibility. It's not my responsibility to help you parent your children. So,
okay, now that soapbox is taken care of.
Yep, getting down off of it. Sorry, got a little preachy there. Sorry. I've had a few beers.
So how about
I'm a
them
little
Cowboys?
preacher.
So
Preachy.
They
I
suck.
saw. We went to the grocery store today, and there was a Coca-Cola truck. Mm-hmm. And I thought to myself,
Wolves.
they
Kill 'em.
wouldn't. They would never be able to do it because
Fire.
You
Kill 'em
know,
with fire. That's
people-
restorative energy.
people are so hoity-toity now,
Shit.
and they're such a big
Hang
company.
on.
But I thought it would be great if,
I keep trying to
for
remember my
April
controls here.
Fools, they announced that they were releasing a special anniversary edition
Kill it with fire.
with real cocaine. Like
Oh,
the old
yeah.
days.
Where do you
Back
get-
in the
oh.
old days, you could buy morphine to treat your children's earache. to treat your colicky children, you give them morphine.
Sweet.
Yeah, we should
Yeah.
have more of that.
It's so funny because the whole children should be seen and not heard thing, that was really a heavily medicated time for children.
Apparently.
And
we
people
were,
get mad at me for giving my children Benadryl when they won't go to sleep.
We were talking about this, and I was like, people like these days are a lot softer
Really
when it comes to those
mamby-pamby.
sort of things. And I was like, that's why there's no more Teddy Roosevelts.
Yeah.
It's like
Teddy Roosevelt lives in my heart.
people are too concerned about being PC and things, and
People shelter their children too much these days, I
Yeah.
think. I mean, a lot of people now, well, how am I going to explain this violent thing to my child? Well, really, when I was a kid, that was around. And all the sex and everything, it was around.
I saw worse things as a kid on just watching.
I listened to Whitney
HBO
Houston
and
and,
Showtime.
and Elton John growing up.
I need to interject
So-
because
There was plenty of sex and music back then.
This is important. The town in Connecticut where the shooting was
Yes.
is
Newtonton.
collecting
Sorry.
collecting and destroying video games.
That's ridiculous. That had absolutely nothing to do with video games.
Yeah.
If video games made you violent, then in the 80s, there would have been so many shootings of dogs, with a freaking
Right?
duck hunt dog.
So
Right?
can I just say, video games don't make people violent. Lag makes
Lag.
people
Yeah.
violent.
And,
That's
and dogs
right.
that laugh at you when you miss the ducks,
Oh,
That,
and little 12-year-old jackasses.
who tell you that
Who
you
tell you.
can suck, that they effed your mother and you can suck their balls.
Yeah. Those are the ones that can
I mean,
suck my ass.
I think that PvP made a really good point that we should not get rid of the First Amendment to protect the Second.
Penny Arcade.
Yeah, Penny Arcade, not PvP. I'm so sorry. But
But yeah, it's silly. And the thing I'm gonna get political for a second, and I apologize because I never do this. But my problem when something like this happens, both sides of an issue use that to try and make their point.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it drives me insane. It's like you are trying to manipulate the situation.
for your agenda.
And the thing I hate is they basically use the exact same stats. Exact
Yeah, they
same
do.
things.
They do.
Like I saw a thing the other day where somebody's saying, there were this many shootings over this period of time and this many shootings over this period of time, and none of them were stopped by a civilian, with a concealed carry. And all I could think was, a concealed carry activist, gun activist would say, well, all those shootings happened because there wasn't anybody.
Exactly.
A lot of the shootings you don't hear about are because they got stopped before the thing happened. Like, did y'all hear about the shooting in San Antonio?
Yes.
Was stopped by an
It
off-duty
was,
cop.
It was right after the Aurora, Colorado shooting. A guy went into a theater and was angry and was
Well, he
was
started
trying
at the
to-
restaurant.
No,
Oh, okay.
that's wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
We
he-
researched this one too.
Yeah, and but
see,
so
I read
you
a
know
news
he
website
was
that had
he
that.
was going in there and was going to start shooting everybody, and the cop pulled out her gun and shot him. The end.
She was an off-duty police
But
officer.
the point is, we're getting off topic. The point is that instead of saying this is horrible, this person who was clearly mentally unstable made extremely poor decisions, and now he's ruined these people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, you have all these a-holes saying, well, we need to get rid of this, or we need to get rid of that.
Yeah,
and
they
this
blame
and
the
that,
object and not the person.
It just drives me insane.
Well,
kind of like-
the problem is whenever any of these things happen, the person who caused it most of the time is dead. And so they don't have a person to blame. And even when they do have a person to blame, they go, oh, well, what influenced him to make him do this? It's either music, video games, or it's that, he had access to guns.
Yeah.
I'll say one thing. It's a mental health issue, not gun control or any other violent issue. That's what I gotta say.
Limiting freedoms is never going to make outlaws mind the law any better. It's just going to make it so that people who are within the law are obeying the law and don't have a chance to protect themselves.
Yeah, laws only hurt law-abiding citizens. Because a criminal isn't going to say, "Oh, it's a law. I guess I better not do it anymore."
It's illegal to shoot 20, kindergarten kids, but it didn't stop them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we got really heavy there for a minute, so boobs,
Let's do some dick and fart jokes
boobs,
now.
vagina.
Oh,
penis.
you should teabag that horker just for fun.
What do you ever
I
do
don't
to
remember
you?
how to teabag.
You squat.
I don't remember how to teabag.
Tell her how.
Other,
L3.
other stick.
I mean, it's click the left stick.
Left stick.
Left stick. There you go.
There
Up and down, up and down. There you go. Good girl.
Oh. Well, with that, we're going to wrap up this
Tail,
episode.
look at his tail.
We're going to wrap up this episode and come back with
Lighter
hopefully,
topics.
yeah, something a little lighter. So, go have fun. Go play a video game.
Hug your kids and buy a weapon.
Yeah, go play Call of Duty and shoot somebody in the face.
Yeah,
I think that video games actually alleviate stress. So
I totally agree with that. But anyway,
keeps me from shooting people.
all right. We'll see y'all next time on Four Nerds Gaming.
Au revoir.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Bye.